Welcome to another exciting episode of Unleashing Your Potential with myself, Coach Toriso. The show is all about unlocking your potential and enhancing your way of living. So today we are talking about teen life and parenting. Are you a teen yourself or a teen parent? Don't go anywhere because I've got coaches here to help us understand what teenagers go through and how we can become a better parents to our teenagers. So don't go anywhere.
In the modern society, where the family unit is under threat, Life Destiny TV seeks to bring the whole family together at any time of the day, enriching every member using Christian values and principle. That is our vision. Connect with us on social media.
Amazing coaches, welcome guys, welcome.
Thank
Please
you.
introduce yourself. Let me start with our very own teen coach there.
Good day.
Yes.
My name is Lebogang Dube, and I am a teen coach, but I'm a professional teacher.
Okay.
So before I started teen coaching, I got into the classroom and I realized something is missing here.
Wow, okay.
And just to bridge the gap between the content
Yeah.
and the gap between the child and the teacher,
Yeah.
I saw Wuti, but there has to be relationships here. And that's where I got my interest in teenagers.
Okay.
So I'm also raising teenagers as well,
Okay.
siblings.
Okay.
And a lot of experience also comes there, from there as well.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, nice. Yes, my queen.
Okay, my name is Bridget. Good day, everyone, to every viewer.
Yeah.
Okay, professionally, I'm a business coach and consultant doing training and development. Then on the interest side, what I do, I'm a teen coach. I specialize mostly with teens. I mentor boys. I've got a couple of boys group that I mentor, which is fatherless. They're coming from the fatherless family and the single-headed. So those are the kind of boys that I actually mentor a lot, other than the whole of the teen side of things. I'm also raising a boy, and I think the interest came from for boys, growing up in a family where it's girls only, and I fell pregnant. There comes a boy, and I'm thinking, what the hell am I gonna do? Because I'm so used to in the, the feminine side of things. Then there comes a boy, and looking at what is happening in our society, and I started asking Father Yahweh and saying, why is these things happening? Why are the boys being so much neglected? And no one takes care of the male seed. And I think as time goes, and he gave me a vision, he says to me, you need to start Men of Honor, which I also do the men's conferences. So it started there, then it boiled out now going to the foundation, said, now you need to go and start with these boys while they're still coming up. So I deal with the boys all over Gauteng, from the Vals, the Sowetos, the Tembisa. I partnered most with the Tembisa schools that I do conferences with them. I'll have the male figures, they'll come and mentor them for the day. As when I get sponsors, then, I have all those fun things for them, do packages, because most of them, they on a grant, others they're even out of the grant side of things. So sometimes I dig out of my pocket, just to make them happy and feel they also wanted and they're not neglected. So that's where my passion is. And I'm also a columnist for Marriage Affairs, where I write about the parenting relationship and the teens.
Okay.
So basically that's me.
That's quite a package. Coach Randali here. Yes.
Yeah. Now it's Chilidzi, the coach, Randali.
Yeah.
Specializing in NLP, life coaching.
Yeah.
My area of interest being relationship coaching, which is also the relationship between parents and children.
Yeah.
So in the parenting space, I deal all the way from the young age. I'm not specifically a teen, but not a teen coach, but from the young age all the way through.
Yeah.
So that's where my area of interest is. Last week I started also a program which I just realized it's clashing nicely with what she does,
okay,
which is called Queens Raising Kings. So this focused on single mothers who are raising boys.
Nice.
Because myself, you know, I was raised mostly by my mom. Those are the memories I recall of my mom being involved in my upbringing. So the challenges are there for mothers who are raising boys. So hence I created that platform for mothers where they just engage. It's a social platform where they just engage, assisting each other. And I, as a professional, will jump in where there are challenges, you know, just share the approaches where they can apply it and have these good relationships with their teenagers and all children from the age of 7 all the way up. Apart from that, I'm a husband, married to one wife.
Yeah.
And
thank God.
I'm raising 2 daughters by the grace of God. Hence, it is very interesting for me because in my effective parenting approach as well, I focus on fathers to daughters and mothers to sons. Now you'll understand why the queens raising kings element. So I do the cross parenting. That's where my interest is.
I see.
And also to add on what she said, we are focusing much on having the better society. Just to make sure that our children do not come out the way the society is today. We need to fix it by attending the foundation.
I hear the 2 ladies that are talking about boys. You are more of a girls. Why specifically boys?
I'm not based only with
on
boys.
Yes. Teens specifically.
Yes, it's teens specifically. It's both girls and it's boys as well, because there's a program I'm currently running where there's boys and girls as well. So it's more of a holistic approach. I don't have a passion only for boys or only for girls. And the teens that I'm also raising right now is a boy and a girl. So for me, it's very interesting to also see the differences between them as well, and the similarities as well. So I think you can answer the boys one better than I can.
Yes, with me being interested more in the boys, it's the same as when you look at it with the adults. The queens are more empowered more than the boys, and we forget that the same boys are still going to get married to those young girls that we are empowering more. And then we ask ourselves at the end of the day, why now are the girls empowering the boys? It comes to relationship marriages. He's just not matured. I don't think he gets me. Because you are there. Then who was raising this man and bringing him up to the standard of where you are as a woman? Because of now, you are equipped almost every weekend. You are out there, you are in the ladies' conferences, you have all these gatherings, but who is dealing with the male seed? At the end of the day, it is the head, which we find that it is loose. It is there isn't anyone nurturing that part of the male seed. So that's where I am saying, you know what, let's change the narrative. Let's get into these boys and let them see the value that they have, the headship that they have. It's not all about masculinity, but it's all about being the man, and you and the girl, you are equal. And I think where again we lose it is saying, no, a boy child is a blue and then a girl it's a pink. Already we are promoting the gender based thing, because of now we're saying, no, the boys needs to be the blue and the girls, you can play with this, you can play with that, you need to fight this way, you can fight, you need to be this way, you know, you can cook, you can. So that's where we also ourselves the foundation, we have just messed it up there because of this is what we taught them and this is what we were taught. But then now, let's come back, let's reflect back and say, but the foundation we were given somewhere along the line was not the right one. And then now we ask ourselves, where does this case come from?
The root cause is actually there.
The root cause is there.
We are now busy trying to fix grown-ups. And it's difficult to fix grown-ups. Whereas it's actually start from...
You can't. Man doesn't cry. My boy, if you fall, you want to cry. Cry. Don't say man doesn't cry, because at the end of the day, then you are raising that monster that at the end of the day, he's going to fight against you as a parent, especially if you are raising a boy, because that's how you are raising him to say, this is how you are. Then you have a bull, you have a monster in the house, then you ask yourself, why? What happened? But it's what you have installed in the child.
It's very important to the instilling of a child, right? So now let's talk about now, when does actually one say that I'm a teenager? Where does it happen? I've got twins who are 12 years. I'm assuming next day they are teens. And then one of them is very scared to say that, hey, mommy, I'm scared of becoming a teenager. And I've asked her, what's wrong with becoming a teenager? She's like, you, mama, teenagers, they rebel, they never listen. Is that the type of a teenager you want to become? But I want to understand, where does one really start to say that I'm a teenager? Is it the 13 years, or it's before?
You know, with this generation that we are living in now, because when I was 12 and I was 11 and I was 13, there were certain things that I feel like I was behind on in terms of the generation now.
Okay.
I've taught in primary school and I've taught in high school.
Yeah.
So I've seen that in primary school, already at 12, already at 11, the kids are already experimenting. They're already asking certain questions.
Sure.
The girls already have bigger boobs than what you would have
Tell
imagined.
me about that.
Yes, and it feels like it has fast-tracked compared to what it was before. And I mean, I'm not that old.
Yeah.
But if I can
see that.
But if I can compare when I was that age to the kids that I've taught, who are 11 and who are 12, it's fast-tracked. You can't even say 13 anymore.
Sure.
As soon as you start being in that pre-teen stage, you can already see there's something that's happening now. So I don't think it starts at 13.
Yeah.
No, it starts at 12. I've seen most of them, you get teens that their productive system reacts quicker, as much as we can get pregnancies from 12 years with the girls.
Yeah.
Immediately when they start menstruation and then they just want to explore the world, because now we're not doing it any justice to say a child comes with an aeroplane and then we bake and then we do 1, 2, 3. So it doesn't.
Do we
honestly,
still teach that?
They still do, because now they want to know, okay, now this child, and then they go to school, there's a LO. The LO teacher speaks about all these things. This is how they do it. But my mom said this is happening.
Who's telling the truth?
And then who's telling the truth between that? They go and experience.
Sure,
and then you ask yourself,
Yeah.
and say, okay, now what happened? But this is what I taught the child. Yeah. We need to learn to be as raw and honest as we can with our kids. The only thing is just say, my child, here's a rope to hang yourself, but I have given you the truth. What you do with it, it's up to you. But unfortunately now, because they're getting into the pubic stage and everything else, when from 12 years, you are going to have that attitude. They don't know how to deal with those emotions now. I've got boobs coming out, my voice is breaking, growing hair under my armpits, in my private parts. Then how do they deal with it? Do we talk about those things? Now you're having pimples on your face. It's puberty. Are we talking about it? What causes it? Raising a boy, me also being there with him full time, is the kind of conversations that I have with him. He's free to come and tell me, Mommy, listen, I think I'm growing hair on my private parts. Is it normal? Why are you getting pimples? Are you a late boomer? Are you also puberting like now? Because I've opened that door that speak to me about anything. Don't go to somebody else before you come to me. Let me help you where I cannot. Then I'll seek help for you outside. Daddy is there. Then you can go ask Daddy. But he feels more comfortable talking to me because of I've opened that door of let's talk about anything. When I do decisions in the house, I want to do 1, 2, 3. My boy, do you think this is I can do this? How do you feel? Even though I know that I'm not even gonna take his
just to hear him out,
to make him feel that he is part of the family, he is part of the environment, that he is being considered, and I take him as a man of the house. Then we need to start giving them that they feel they belong. Not you're a child, man, just shush. You don't know anything. House beds, you're not paying rent, you're not paying water, but you've got a big mouth.
As teen coaches, mostly what are the challenges of teenagers that maybe we as parents, we don't understand? If they come to you as a teen coach, what normally do they emphasize?
Okay, I think I'm going to let you speak.
I think to start from where they ended, where we are talking of the age, where does it start? Listening to the two ladies here, elaborating where teenage starts. For me as an NLP coach, I'm viewing it from not the age. We're not attaching an age to it. If you listen to what they were saying, it's all about the behaviors. It's all about an individual. Because if we're going to attach an age, as a mother, you're going to sit there and wait for this person to become a certain age. and hoping that the intervention is going to help, only to find that you are delayed. Issues are already happening. Now you are in a stage where you are being reactional.
I get you.
So also in this space, the issue is being involved. As a parent, be involved from the word go. I think I've already shared with you to say my two daughters, the other one is now going to be a month old. The other one is 4. And by looking at them, my involvement, I already realized that this is what I'm raising, individuals.
Yeah.
And when one gets interested in being involved, you realize that you address issues even before they come. That open door that she was talking about, by you being involved. And when you are with this one, now you are with this one, let's forget about that other one. We are dealing with this one because they are an individual.
Yeah.
So it starts there, being involved, being interested in understanding that. Also from an NLP point of view, we say, the mind is not the territory. The map is not the territory. So this one has got his or her own mindset. So when I'm with this one, I must make sure that I understand. So even the challenges I'm going to see, I must not automatically make them these ones mistakes.
The other ones,
This one might be an introvert, extrovert. This one is going to be different.
Okay. It's getting very juicy. We are coming right up, guys. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Coach TC, you were just you elaborating more.
Yeah, no, I was about to hand over the baton. Okay. But the foundation that I laid is to say, let's deal with these teenagers or children of ours from an individual point of view. That's going to save us a whole lot of issues. The moment we start seeing them as they are, as individuals. Sure. Because as much as we may read about what common challenges we're going to get and all that, these things that's still happening. Hence today we have got grown-up teenagers. I don't know if there's such a terminology, but
I hear you.
those mood swings that you would normally talk about from a teenager, there are people who are carrying them at a husband stage. So you see, we cannot really attach an age to it.
I hear
so deal with an individual, then you have it right.
All right. My coach.
I take the baton. So the first thing I want to just emphasize is that we are still in a place where parents are parenting the way their parents were parenting them.
Sure.
So that's the best way they know so far, because that's the experience that they got from their parents as well. So that's the first thing. So parents also need to realize that we have moved in terms of eras. We're no longer living in the old age, stone age, where when your parent closed you up,
Yeah. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Yes, it's no longer the same. And there's so much that a parent can do, and you need to also be lenient on yourself as a parent and not compare yourself to the next parent, because kids are not the same. And like you said as well, you are raising individuals. So another thing that I have seen that teenagers will complain about is individuality and also independence. Parents get to a place where they don't know when to let go. And I was listening the other day to someone who said the most difficult thing is that when they're still a child, they're following you to the bathroom. They're following you everywhere. And once they become a teenager, they want space. So
how do one
yes, exactly. So parents are struggling with that whole attachment thing to say, but you wanted me everywhere you were going, and all of a sudden you want your space. What am I supposed to do?
How cool are you?
So another challenge that's there is that now parents are struggling to transition between the attachment and now letting go and saying, okay, now you can make your own choices. And I think those are the two things that I want to just emphasize on. Okay, maybe let me add a third one. And another thing as well is that it's not a one size fits all, like he's saying. It's not a one size fits all blanket. You go, okay, behavior. There are other ways now that that teenagers are going to get a hold of that person that they want to get a hold of. We see it at school all the time. So I think that the best thing you can do for yourself is whoever that you are parenting with, which is not only your husband. And if you feel like when you are fighting a losing battle, always find someone that the teenager respect. They always respect someone.
Yeah. Certainly.
There's always going to be that one person that they look up to and they respect and they feel like I lo yang lalela. I can listen to this person more. Sort of co-parent with such people around you. You know, kungabi na ay malume ola wang understand and then sega hamba no malume naye unendlela zakhe. No, malume nawe, if you guys are on the same page, even if when you are losing that person, you know ukuthi malume has got a grip over this person. So yeah, I think ukuthi just parents learning that independence is going to be there, and whatever you've instilled in the child between the ages of 0 and 7, you need to trust that you've instilled the right morals.
Amen to that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Certainly, just to add on it, and also the individuality. The problem is when it comes to parents. We like comparing the children when you have one. How's mamang? What's mamang is doing 1, 2, 3. You are not like your brother. Your brother can pick up after themselves, but when you cannot do this. You know, we compare them and we don't let them be themselves. That's why you find them. They will hold to what they want to do or say because of whatever I do, it's not good enough for my mother. It's not good enough for my dad. So I might as well just not do it.
I'm guilty of that, I must say.
Yeah.
Because I'm a mom of twins. And this comparison thing, I just don't know how to just... Because for me, it's like... Oh, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
For me, I expect maybe the same from both of them. Because if one can take a cup from here to the kitchen, why can't you do it? Now, is it wrong to say, your sister is doing this and this?
So that's where the problem is. We do that to them. And now this one is going to live in the shadow of the other one because of now you keep on comparing them. So now this one will want to be exactly like this one that is doing things right. But it's going to burn out at the end of the day. Then you're going to see the anger coming out. You're going to see different behavioral traits that comes out of your teen because of now he can't take this, this person now. He's living in the shadow of, and she's tired of it, and then now they're fighting it. So now they're gonna fight it and say it against you, or they're gonna end up hating each other because of now mom loves you more, and then you are Miss Goody Two Shoes, and I'm the baddie one in the house. I'm the black sheep of the house, and you are 1, 2, 3. To be honest with you, there is no manual for parenting. It's only by the grace that we do it. You can be as good as we are, we can be as teen coach as we are, but we can still find our children being the ones that are way out of line, to be honest with you. So it's just by the grace. We can see these behaviors, we can try and help where we can. And I think also as parents, we need to take a step back again and say, but I'm also human. I've got feelings, and there is time that you need to take a step back, as she said, and recuperate. And say, okay, fine, I'm back to my senses. Then what is it that I'm doing wrong? Why am I not able to, to speak to this child? What is wrong? Where the tapodi? Because somewhere along the line there is that. There is that. So
Is that how the gap, because there's a gap there, right? The way, like she said, the way we were taught, that's how we know how to parent. And then somehow the kids, they're telling us that you're not going to teach me in that manner. And then from us, you're going to be like, this child is rebelling. This child does not want to listen to me. How do we meet that gap? How do we adjust to that gap?
Adjusting to the gap, I would say, let's take it now from an NLP point.
Sure.
There is a presupposition that talks of the person with the most flexibility rules the system. You are the parent. If you decide to be flexible, you have won. In which sense? Because I take it from the fact that I want you to do something. I'm the one who wants you to do something. Who must be on that part of initiating? It's me. If I want you here, I must be willing first to come to where you are for me to easily win you to where I want you to be. But if I'm standing here and I'm saying, come over, I'm not realizing that I'm fighting you and the system where you're asking yourself, why should I come to where you are? What's so interesting? Because all that the child knows is what is surrounding them. Yeah. So they will not easily just jump until I choose to go to where the child is and understand them. Then winning them over, it will be easier because I have been here as an adult. Yeah. So if I go there and become a child and say, look, I want to understand what's frustrating you here. Let's be flexible. Let's understand. Let's calm down. How often do we always say you need to adult up? Yeah. What's stopping us as parents to child down, if there's such a word? Yeah. Why can't we child down? Let me go and understand. Because if I want to drag this person, go to their field, go to their state and understand. Because you might be using the textbook exercises, thinking, oh, okay, she's 12, he's 15, this is what is happening. Only found that this individual, it's a totally different child. And all that they're doing, it's a cry inside to say, Mom, Dad, if only you could come down here and realize how frustrated I am. Yeah. Not as much as I'm saying it, but I'm so frustrated that I can't even open my mouth. It's only when you go down where you realize that, no, my child is fighting this battle. Sure. Now, to take them out, how do I take somebody out from a pit? Go down and assist them because they are saying, I can't see the step here. Sure. Go and feel it. Then you will definitely win them.
Yeah, I'm definitely learning.
Flexibility.
Certainly.
Flexibility.
Yeah. I think dwelling on what he is saying, I think the best way is, even if you find them playing, because that's a method that I've used. It worked for me and I've used. Yeah. They play soccer. I'm outside, I play soccer with them. Yeah. When they're on a PSP, I do the same. Teach me. I also want to see, I can beat you. So I get to that level of when they get dirty, I get dirty, but I am allowed to be an adult sometimes. And yes, I will shout and I will lose it. You are allowed to do it as parents. We get to that point sometimes. It might be the things that frustrated you from outside, or is because of, you lacking that thing of, why are you, the kids of your age, they're doing 1, 2, 3, but you are not. It's like you're not maturing. What's wrong with you? Please act your age. We force them to go there before it is their time. And you find out it's one of those that are just, sailing in the system of trying to find themselves in the way, but now you want them to accelerate to that point. Yeah. They're going to burn out and they're going to crash. And who's going to suffer? It's you as a parent. They're going to suffer. And parents, we need to learn to apologize. Yeah. We never apologize. You never say sorry to your children. Immediately when you start apologizing to them, they learn to apologize and they see when they are wrong, and you don't even have to wait for their apology. Immediately when they've done something wrong or you start shouting, it's like, sorry ma'am, I've realized I've done 1, 2, 3. Because of you've learned to apologize to them, because now when you say, I'm an adult, I don't apologize, I am right. Yeah. They take it. They're not gonna apologize. I've learned that skill of apologize. Even if I'm not wrong, sometimes I'll say, okay, did I? Because he'll say, when you say this, but you hurt me, right? Yeah. Okay, I didn't mean to. I didn't realize that I was hurting you. Yeah. So please forgive me. I apologize. Yes. Okay, maybe then give me a hug. Okay. All right. Then it's over. Then it's over and done with.
But then how do you become a friend to your child and at the same time become a parent to your child? Because there's a time where you feel like when you are too friendly, even when you say do something, they just look at you as like, now you are friends. How do we then know that this time I'm serious? This time we can play? Because remember, we come from a generation where we're not even playing with our parents. We're not even allowed to look at them in their faces. Right now at the school, they're saying, when I talk, you look at me in the face. But we were taught, you don't look at me in the face when I talk to you. So there's a whole lot of, how do I now become a friend? And when do I know to just, now I'm being a parent?
But I think she brought a very interesting point earlier to say, as parents, and we can't take that away from ourselves, we are parenting the way we were parented. It starts there. Yeah. Now, it starts with me understanding that how I was parented, if I was to be given a scorecard to score my parents, I would say, you know what, they got a 2 out of 10. That's me, based on looking at the now parenting and then. But not forgetting that, or forgetting rather, that they also parented me the way they were parented.
They know best as well.
So what they were giving me, according to them, was the best. So for me right now, it's to introduce the best to my children. And the best, it can only come when I realize that, okay, look, you are an individual. I want to be your friend. It's me who wants to be your friend. It takes us back to the flexibility that I mentioned earlier. If I want to be your friend, whether I like it or not, I must abide by your own friendship. I must understand what are your parameters. Who is a friend? Then like it also helped me to draw the line. But again, when I come in there, remember, I can easily win you when I'm in there. Because I then remind you. As much as I'm your friend, I'm still the parent.
I'm still the parent.
Oh, guys, we are coming right up. I like what is happening here, but please stay tuned. Right. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I, as a parent, I'm learning a lot. I'm getting a free coaching and counseling here. But then I wish now we can do the very same thing to them, teenagers. How do we mend the relationship? Because from a parent side, I would know what to do. From a teenage side, how do they level up a little bit too? Because I need to go down to their level. But they themselves, they need to level up a little bit. How do we mend that? How do we get together here?
So what I can give advice to as teenagers, because teenagers can also take action, you know, because sometimes a parent can go to a teenager and suggest something, but as long as the teenager is not willing, it's also another thing. So teenagers need to also learn that what they currently know is not everything. Because teenagers, your mind is fully developed at the age of 21. So while you are still a teenager, there are certain things that you do not know. And you do not know what you do not know. So you need to open up to that level, number one. And number two, teenagers also need to know that my peer knows as much as I know. So when I'm a teenager, I tend to think, no, man, my friend knows this and they said this, and no, for the simple fact that we are the same age. The simple fact that we are the same age, the advice that comes from your friend is the best that the best that they also know as well. So if you want to meet with your parent halfway, you need to understand those things. They are not there to harm you. They're not trying to harm you, but it's for your best as well as a teenager. So you need to sit down as well and look at the influence around you. You are the average of the 7 people. 5 people you spend your time with. Yes, so obviously if I'm spending my time with 4 other people who are cheating and stealing, I'm also part of that as well. So now I need to make sure who I'm listening to really does want the best for me. That's what I'm thinking of in terms of how we can.
And this is a free one for the teenagers. You know, I will invoice them later when they are parents.
Hit them.
Here's a secret. As a teenager, if I want my mom and my dad to correct me or to discipline me in a certain way, I am choosing today to teach them how to discipline me. How do I do that? We always talk about children being manipulative. And they can do that.
A whole lot.
They can do that. But do it in such a way that, number one, you understand that the person you're talking to has been a teenager before. Right? And in most cases, they want to relieve or to correct their mistakes through you. It's a two-way stream, right? They talk to you, talk to them. Don't wait for them to do something. Tell them in advance. You have got all these resources around you as teenagers. Teach your parents how to treat you. And by having a conversation, don't wait for you to do something that is wrong. When she's okay as your mother, she's happy, make sure that you teach her how to treat you. So that when it happens, otherwise, you remind her. But mom, I told you that if you want me to be corrected, don't shout. And how often do they tell us? But mom, why are you shouting?
A whole lot.
So to prevent your mom from shouting, tell her in advance to say, mom, you know, I listen better when you are so toned down. Oh, mom, you know, I was watching this story, you know, I think I love this character where this parent talks this way. You're manipulating the system as the teenager. So that when your parent does it otherwise, you challenge them, but come on, mom, we are teaching each other here. You have never been a parent. You are being a parent because of me. I'm being a child because of you as the parent. So let's help each other out. Sure. So that's a free one for the teenagers.
Yeah. I really love
You don't have to invoice me now, or I don't have to. We'll do it later.
I love what he's saying. I was just advising some teens the other day. I said to them, the tone that you use, you know, it's important to know how to address and when to address. So if we are all, our spirits are all high there, siarasa, at that moment, no one is going to listen to you. So when you are in a good place and now bring it up. You know, ma, yazi izolo, into yenzile, azangangize ngiyithandisise, you know, and the tone that you are using at that moment versus, ma, I don't like what you're doing. You always shout at me. Why are you shouting at me? Versus coming back and saying, ma, the next day, you know, when you compare me to other kids, I really don't like.
So basically, that's how you teach them how to treat you.
Yes.
I hear you.
Yeah, just to wrap up on what they are saying, you know, for coming from reflecting back as a teen, we also had those kind of behavioral patterns. I know at some point that, yes, I thought, you know what, times are not the way you guys were brought up, and I know better than you. And I was doing things the way I think they suited me because of the peer pressure that we also had of my age, they going out. So I need to go out. And having a father that says, and we learn to lie. But then now, when we're coming to saying to our teen now, for them, preventing them from doing that, we need to start listening to them more. We need to lend the ear to our children because of now, if I'm not listening, coming to my teen side, when they were not listening to me, obviously I was pushing back. And this is what they are doing. So I need to go back and understand that I went through the very same thing. Now, when I see the child behaves this way, it's a replica of what I used to do to my parents. And we forget that they'll do what you used to do at your young age. So then how did your parents deal with you? Now, bring it back to now. Things have changed. They can go to parties. They in the multiracials, and they meeting all different kind of cultures and different kind of personalities. I can be a parent that I can host the 12-year-old and saying, I'm throwing them a party, and it starts at 5 in the evening, it ends at 10. And Ronald was a voodoo. You cannot. It needs to be in the afternoon. And then now I keep on saying, you're not going there. You're not going there. I was not allowed to do this. But whose house is it? Is it your parenting? Then you need to get to that level and say, okay, but you must know that there is a limit. They need to also learn to ask nicely to their parents. As long as you open that relationship of, okay, you must know you are allowed to go to parties, but you cannot go to parties every weekend. That's an agreement that you are reaching. You have your terms of reference with your children. Okay, my son, how do you want me to treat you? Okay, this is how I want you to treat me. Don't shout at me. Don't go through my personal stuff. Don't go through my cell phone, and please don't come into my room
without knocking.
Without knocking. So please, you know, so that we have all those terms of references. Then you say, okay, fine, I hear you from your point of view. But we live together. We need to live in unison. I need to come into your bedroom to see what if I don't come into I don't come to your room as you want me to, but then the next thing you've passed out and then you die in there and I'm not So you start triggering all those things of now I hear your petition, you know, but let me bring it to now this side. I'm not your parent anymore. I'm speaking in a holistic way of things. What if you pass out and then something happened to you during the night? I wouldn't know because you don't want me coming there. If I don't have a password to your phone, what if something happens to you when you go strating, and then how can people know who's your parent and to contact? If you have all these fingerprints on here, then how are they going to get emergency numbers or whatever that might be? You know, so those are the kind of conversations that you need to have with them. Are you studying? Can I help you? you go to that level. Okay, this is how I used to study. I'm doing mind maps. Can I help you do mind maps? Then let's study together. Yeah. You know, when you do that, you are building that, you are engaging them, and the child is able to build that relationship. So as coming from me being a teen, I started being honest with my parents. So what I can say is that be honest with your parents, even if they shout at you, but at the end of the day, you have cried out to them. You have tried to reach out to them. Yeah. There is student counseling at school. They can also go and engage with those people if the parents are not listening. Yeah. There is those counselors that you can go to in the schools. You can report it to the social workers, but this is what I am going through, because then you're going to be raising a child that is suicidal. So, you know, even as a parent, they're not coming to you. Don't feel bad, but also give them that advice of, you can speak to, you know, a psychologist at school. You can speak to someone else. If you want me to book you a psychologist, if you can't speak to me or see a coach, tell me, be more honest. It's hurting, yes, to hear your child saying that. Yeah, but I can't talk to you, mommy. I can't talk to you. I prefer somebody else. It's hurting, but take it in as a big girl, as a big boy, and say, okay, as an adult, I'm going to refer you to somebody else. So I think let's give them that freedom to choose.
And here's the last punchline that I want us to have as teenagers. I'm talking from a teenage point of view. Yeah. Fellow teenagers, here we are today. We have this blueprint of life ahead. Let's take advantage of these people who are to warn us of what lies ahead. Let's take this advantage. We don't want to become like other adults out there who are regretting not listening, not taking notes. We are privileged. Let's take this opportunity to listen to these people who are ahead of us, telling us what is right, what is wrong, and then so that when we navigate this road ahead, we are reminded, oh, this is right, this is wrong. Oh, we don't want to be like them. I'm saying we as teenagers, we don't want to be like them. Sure. Because we can see, number one, we might not say it loudly, but we can see how miserable they are, these parents. So to avoid being miserable like them, let's use this platform of listening. And of course, we will navigate ourselves to say, they might have because of the olden days, but it helps us as teenagers to navigate life when we are warned. There is a saying, forewarned is forearmed. If we allow them to warn us, it still gives us an opportunity to introspect. But what are we introspecting if we're not allowing to be warned? That's just my challenge to my fellow teenagers out there to say, how will we navigate if we don't know what lies ahead?
And teenagers also need to understand that they need to stand for something, or they'll fall for everything. And that's just what I'm going to say. Stand for something, and even if there's something you don't like, you don't have to say yes to every single thing that your friends are doing, every single thing. There's sometimes things that you do that you feel, hey, but this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. And you saying no won't make you lose your true friends.
Thank you.
As long as they are your true friend, you said no. So stand for something or fall for everything.
That was the last word for teenagers. Last word for the teenagers as well from your side. And then I want the last word for parents as well out there.
Okay, for a teen, let your no be a no. And stand for what you believe in. Stand for the truth that you believe in. You are not stupid in asking, and you are allowed to make mistakes, and you are allowed to be you. So be you, do you, and take care of yourself, and be the best version of yourself, the best way that you can, and open up and be honest and live life, because life is not gonna live for you.
I like that. I like that. Let's wait for the parents.
For the parents, it's two things from me. One, that you need to stop doing from today. As parents, let's stop trying to relive our lives through our children. Let's stop trying to correct our mistakes through them.
Nice.
That is the stopping part. I'm not going to add or just as it is. The one thing we need to start doing, especially in this age and era, let's start being deliberately involved in parenting our kids. I'm not talking about being physically available, emotionally as well. Because if you're not parenting, something else or someone else is parenting for you.
Yes. I hear you. Punchline, boo.
That's it.
Yes, coach.
My closing remark would be to black parents.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this is because we have not yet come to a point where we value coaching. A black parent can buy a child a sneaker for 1,000 rand.
True that.
But the moment 250 for an hour, they don't see value in that. So if you feel like you are losing the battle, ask someone to come on board. Ungasabi.
I like that.
Yes.
Like
so let us not be scared. And I'm saying black parents because white people are already into this coaching thing. Yes, they're already into this coaching thing. The parent will actively go look for a coach. Sure. But as a black community, let us start valuing what builds us.
I like that. Yeah. Yes, I love that. Very nice. Punch. Where do we get hold of you guys? There's somebody out there say that, okay, now I want to take my teenager to a coach. Where do they get hold of you? And what programs are you guys running?
So it's Chilidze Radali on Facebook. The Facebook page, it's Chilidze the Coach Radali. And on Instagram, it's @coach_TC_Radali. And the program that I'm currently running, which is for parents, it's the Queens Raising Kings.
All right.
It's a social platform. It's a WhatsApp group. So parents can check it out there, register themselves, and then have unlimited social engagement with other mothers, with a professional, of course, overseeing it. And www.trthecoach.co.za.
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you so much. Yes, my lady.
On Instagram, I am Teen Life Coach Lebo Dube.
Okay.
So you can go through my wall, see what I'm all about. On Facebook, I am Lebogang Dube, and email info@lebodube.co.za, and also my website is www.lebodube.co.za.
I like that. Queen Coach.
Okay, at Facebook, I'm Bridget Musluba, and my page is Bridget Musluba Transformational Speaker. Then on Instagram, it's Bridget_Musluba. And my email, it's bmusluba@gmail.com. And you can also find me on www.yedidiaempowerments.co.za.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Coach, for being here. Viewers out there, you know what? I've learned today that it's not easy being a teenager, guys. Also, it's not easy being a parent to a teenager. But I think we can level up, both of us. Yeah, we can meet each other halfway. Obviously, with the guidance that we've had here today, there is no way that we cannot have a better relationship with our teenagers and ourselves. And for that, I think it will make us to grow together on this journey, and we'll raise amazing, beautiful kids as we are evolving as parents as well. On that note, I'll see you guys next time.